welcome it. Would welcome. Good morning. Thank you for hitting the fan. May the 31st. Let's make sure we got everything rolling and our sound meters on, and we do. May is almost done.
I know.
One more day.
Oh boy.
And then it's officially summer. As if the 90 degrees and stuff hadn't already coerced us into thinking it was summer.
Oh, it's summer. Yeah.
I tried those. I slept funky. Oh, no, you know what I did was I was doing a little headstand in the other day, and I hadn't done it in a while, and I improperly placed myself. I do it on top of my little trampoline, my rebounder. So that's what these are. I got them this morning at Walmart, just a little salon pause. I always hear about those salon pause patches. I rubbed Tiger Balm on myself all over. I smell like a menthol whatever treat. But these are nice.
What's it for?
I compacted probably something in my neck.
So it gives
raw.
support?
No, feels good.
Oh, it
It's
feels
got
good.
camphor and menthol and come smell my neck. You'll know what it has. in
Okay,
it.
I got you.
It's not bad. It's just
I just
right.
called in for some seasick patches.
Been getting seasick?
Well, I've been going out with the yacht club, and last time it was a nice day and mild conditions. I still got queasy,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna see if this will help.
It'll work. It'll Dramamine or whatever it is in there. Not,
They're patches.
yeah. But right, whatever's in there. It's the medicine that's in there.
Yeah.
Well, cool guys. Any requests today? Anybody mess up their neck over the weekend or
No, but it was a lot of partying.
a lot of partying? All right, we'll have to work all that out, huh? Get all that toxin.
Go easy.
Squeeze it. Oh, go easy, the opposite side. All right, let's start breathing
You
through
do
the
what you
nose. Oh, no, requests and requests. That's all right. Maybe we'll do a little bit more of a holding class today. And so, that doesn't mean you have to go easy on it. Maybe that means that you focus a little more on breathing. Maybe that means that if it feels a little slower, then you're more a little intentional about a posture when you get into it instead of just resting in it. So a few breaths in child's posture. Every now and then we gotta be kind to the old bod, so let's send our arms out long if we're not there yet. Extend our child's pose. We will, however, warm up prior to stretching nicely and intently and gently. So let's tuck our toes under and press into a nice downward facing dog and use the opportunity to come into our breathing. So in down dog here today, remembering to press away with the arms as we inhale, sink down with the heels as we exhale. Every time. Grow from the arms. Plant with the heels. You can always go a little further. We're going to hold for a few breaths, so if you feel that the stretch is going away in your calves or in your hamstrings, you just walk your feet a little closer to your hands. And continue that hold. Maybe shake out the head, a yes and a no, look under an armpit and then the other, particularly if you slept on your neck wrong. And now put a soft bend in the elbows, in case you didn't have one already. And rotate your inner elbows more toward one another. So if you look at your inner elbow seam, your elbow pit, if you will, they're facing the one across the way. 5 more breaths, down dog. Dig in with the belly. Let's not forget that. Pull it toward the front of the spine. So now let's start with some nice slow mutations. Let's look forward, feet in between the hands. Take as many steps as you need to get there. Bow deeply. Good morning, hamstrings. Roll the weight to the heels and lift the toes. Even here, look to the left, look to the right. Bend a knee, drop your chest towards that bent knee, let the hips sag. Let your arms just hang like gorilla arms. Like that poor sweet gorilla that had to get put down. Bad, bad news. Watch your kids. And flip it opposite side. Bend the other knee. Keep lifting your toes even here. Don't forget that. Both legs straighten. Up into monkey pose. Off to more primates. Hands to the shins. Look upward. Exhale, reach behind, cradle, pull the chest towards the thighs while you look right down at your toes. Again, look up, monkey. Exhale, fold. Round off to 3, looking up. Exhale, fold deeply, and now our salutations. Hands to the heart. So slow and deliberate. So since we're doing slow mutations, it might be a few breaths instead of one breath for each movement. Look down in front of the big toes so that we come up with a flat back. Thumbs in at the chest. Inhale, unhinge. Slowly. Arms overhead. Maybe lean back. Look down the chest. Up to center. Exhale, dive through. Hands back to the heart. Slowly. Release the arms. Half lift, look up, monkey pose. And fold, palms flat, plank pose. Top of the push-up, hold here. Shoulders up over the wrists. Fill the lungs. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly or halfway down slowly. Next breath in. Lift the shoulders to upward facing dog. Hold here. Roll open the chest forward. We're up on the toes or on the tops of the feet, where you choose to be. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press way back. So there's our first one. We'll do a few more deliberate salutations. They help us reintroduce ourselves to our bodies. We tumble along through the weekends and disconnect sometimes. So we'll look forward, maybe lead with the other foot. You probably forget which one you led with last time. Maybe next time you'll pay attention. Doesn't really matter. Hands to the heart, thumbs in at the chest. Pull the shoulders up to the ceiling, and let's look at that spot in front of the toes. Inhale, lift all the way up. Little back bend. Inhale to center. Exhale, dive forward. Release the arms. Half lift, monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Hands down, plank pose. Shoulders atop the wrists. Pull the belly in. Plank is an abdominal strengthening posture. Nice straight line from your head out through the heels. Fill the lungs. And lower down all the way or halfway. Next breath in, upward facing dog. Big breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Release the muscles of the face while we're here. No effort there. Look forward, feet to hands. Bow here, hang loose. Hands to the heart. Look at that spot in front. Unhinge, lift to stand, arms overhead. To center. Exhale, dive through. Half lift, monkey pose. And fold, plank. Shoulders over wrists. Hold here. Breathe in. Use the whole exhale to lower slowly down. Halfway or all the way. Upward facing dog. Next breath out, downward facing dog. Spread all 10 fingers again. Make the hands deliberate. Spread all 10 toes. You're looking at them. How far apart can they be from one another? And one last salutation. Feet forward. Forward bend, bow deeply. Hands to the heart. And if you need to have a slight bend in the knees because the hamstrings are calling for it, do that. Next breath in, lift all the way up. Lean back, perfect. To center, inhale. Exhale, dive through. Release the arms. There's that monkey pose. Look up, flat back. And fold back to plank. This time either hold your plank. If you're done with planking, there's the knees you can drop to. If you want more, walk the right hand to the center of the mat. Roll open to a side plank. Left arm goes high. Stack the legs. You can lift the top leg. Spread through the toes in these arm balances, it helps. And if you've side planked, we'll go back to plank. Centering up the chest above the wrists. If you're holding your plank, you might want to take a break. Side plank to the other side. Left hand down. Right arm lifts if you're doing them. Keep the face easy and happy. And back to plank. Let's take our breath in and lower down. When you're ready, upward facing dog. So we'll take a pause here. Slight bend in elbows. Let's look over the right shoulder and let your left hip drop. You might even roll onto the sides of the feet back there as your right hip lifts. You kind of just let your hips fall into place there. Inhale to the center. To the other side. Nice stretch through the rib cage, always good. To center. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Let's walk our hands back to the rear of the mat. And let them hang here. Maybe just even flipping the palms over. We want the arms to do no work, so put them somewhere where they're not doing a thing.
And then bend your knees so far that your chest can even rest upon them. Kind of like a standing child's pose here, everything resting. Keep the knees bent. We'll bring the hands to the heart here. And bend the knees a bit more. Lift the toes. Keep the knees bent. Lift the chest up for chair pose.
Let's bring our hands upward to the heart. Shoulders down. Look forward, maybe to the center of your mat, and roll onto the toes. Lift the heels. So let's stay up on our toes and bring the hands down. Walk the arms out into a crouch position. So basically down dog arms
and toe chair legs. Next breath in, straighten the legs, stay on the toes. Exhale, sink down with the heels. Next breath in, let's lift our right leg. And rotate the ankle in the air up there. Maybe the other direction. That foot you're looking at that's on the ground, try and sink down the heel there. If your hip wants it, the knee that's up overhead, you could bend it. You could look up over your right armpit. Under, rather, I suppose. Now lift the leg high again. Look back to the foot and walk your hands there. Let's keep this right leg in the air. Come down into a standing split here. Your standing knee can be bent as much as you need to. If you want to test the balance, walk one hand in, then the other. One day, no hands touch the floor. Both hands down, both feet down, forward bend. Head hangs heavy, bend the knees, chest rests upon them. Maybe even the hands on the back this time. Just because we did it one way last time doesn't mean we have to do it the same way this time. Couple more breaths. And keep the knees bent deeply. We'll do that chair sequence again. So this time let's bend the knees so you can touch the fingertips. It's kind of our litmus test for, hey, I've got a nice deep chair happening.
Then reach forward, chair pose with the arms lifted here. It's called Utkatasana, or Thunderbolt pose, or Fierce pose, or Powerful pose. It's got a million names. Inhale, exhale. Now look forward, halfway up the mat. Inhale on the toes, don't hold your breath though. Lift the heels. And set the hands down. Here's that crouch. Walk the hands out. Down dog arms.
Looking through to your feet, rotate so your ankles point up toward the ceiling. So the soles of your feet are perpendicular to the ground and not in a V. The space in between your feet ought to be about the same distance toe to toe as heel to heel. Next breath in, straighten the legs, should feel decent. Exhale, sink down with the heels. Hold this nice down dog. Go to child's pose or do a few vinyasas. Inhaling forward. Exhale. Up dog and down dog at your own breath's pace. There are always add-ons and minuses. You can supersize it or slow it down. Every day yoga is a little different and every person's different. So flow with the breath with these vinyasas, one breath for each movement. Great way to reconnect with the body, burn off some toxins. Wake up. Next time we're in downward facing dog, let's hold it there. A little for arms. If your arms, your wrists have had enough, you could drop onto elbows and come into dolphin pose. If your arms, shoulders themselves want more, right hand could come to the center, then that left to right, left hand to the back. One-armed dog. So sad. Press way out through that arm, but don't lock it, please. Make sure the elbow is happy. Always happy. Both arms out now. And if you want to switch it up, other hand center of the mat, arm to back. Both arms out. Just a little bit more of this down dog nonsense here. Let's get our big toes together just so we're tidied up back there. Soft bend in the elbows. Next breath in, right leg lifts. Rotate the ankle. The other direction. Bend the knee overhead, lift the hip. We do this side? Yes. Nice. Lift the leg high, set it down. The left leg lifts. Rotate the ankle. You are awake. There's a new car in the drive for you, Pat. You won the prize. Rotate the ankle. Bend the knee. Yep, there it is. And then you know, because that hip says, I've not been here. Lift it high. So, standing split, walk the hands to the foot and here. Bow deeply. One hand in, then the other. One day, no hands at the ground. Energy in, oxygen in. Stale air, stagnancy, toxins out. Hands down, feet down, forward bend. Walk the arms out. Downward facing dog just for a minute. And by that I mean a full minute. Spread your fingers. Press out through the arms. We will head for child's pose next. You're welcome to take the exit to your destination at any time. Particularly since your fearless leader failed you in lefts and rights. See how loose your face can be while you're here. Let the blood flow to the head, clear out the cobwebs. The little sticky bits that get in the way of us thinking clearly. Inhale. Exhale, slowly bend the knees. See how slowly you can creep into child's pose. Seeing if I still had some of you that weren't there already. Drop to knees and the feet. And so we get ourselves tidied up so when we get to child's pose, we can be completely still. If your child's pose is so deep that you can turn a cheek downward, you can do that. And then you settle. And that's sometimes the hard part. Getting into something like child's pose and not pushing with the head. Not pushing with your arms. Just settle. Ooze into it. If you've turned the head, maybe the other direction, go. And arms extend out if you're not there. Extend out a child's pose. The next breath in, let's come forward and onto our bellies. Come into Sphinx posture, onto the elbows. Legs are straight back out from your hips, and that sounds a little elementary, but sometimes the feet are out, sometimes things are turned, so make sure they're straight out. Walk the elbows under the shoulders, spread through fingers, and let the head hang first. Feel like a sad, ashamed sphinx. Pull the belly in. Soften your butt, please. Don't squeeze there. So we'll make him ashamed no longer. Push with the elbows. Grow there. Unroll the head. Nose points forward. Nice deliberate sphinx pose. Close the eyes. So with the eyes closed, feel, how does your low back feel? That spot right where the deepest part of the bend is happening now. Does it feel like it might want more? And if it does, with your 10 fingers spread, push and straighten the arms as much as your back is still smiling for, without coming into your shoulder cave. So grow out of the shoulder cave, then settle in there. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly and reach behind with the arms. Arms are straight, we'll move toward locust pose and strengthen the back of the body. So point the palms to face one another, thumbs are down. Walk the legs together, glue the big toes. So feel the big toes. Feel your knees perhaps, your thighs, whatever touches in your particular body vehicle. Rest the chin for just a moment. And we're going to lift the shoulders, the arms, and the legs as one unit. Locust pose. Reaching back with your middle finger toward your feet. So your shoulders go along. This bothers the neck, just look kind of down. No need to look forward, you're not really going anywhere. And keep breathing. Keep the legs where they are, but sweep the arms out in front. Palms face one another. And back out, in back, locust pose. Next exhale, release, stack the forearms. Rest the forehead at the wrist and breathe. Let everything release. One more back flow. Arms alongside, back into that locust pose. So rest the chin for a moment. Glue legs together, big toes, inner thighs.
Thumbs down, pinkies up. When you're ready, shoulders, chest, arms, legs. So this makes the back of your body work. If you want to work on flexibility a bit, you could bend a knee and find that foot with a hand, and then the other. You come into upward bow pose. Once you grab the feet, try and draw your knees together. I flex my feet, it makes handles, but some people are pointers. Kick in there and lift the chest, maybe look up. Lift your toes as high as they'll go. Inhale. Now with control into that Superman pose. Breathe. And release, stack the forearms, rest the forehead there. So let's stretch the quads a bit. Let's walk upon our elbows gently. And reach back for a foot, perhaps the right one. Grab your foot and bring it downward towards your bottom. If your bottom gets hit by your foot real quick and you're flexible, then move the foot to the outside so it's more coming down to the space to the outside of your hip. As long as you feel a stretch in the quad, which as review is the big meaty muscle just above your knee, between your knee and your hip seam, aka groin. Breathe deeply, big muscles of the quads. And release here. Switch sides. Let's reach back, other foot. Heel towards your bottom. And make sure as we do that you roll back down so both hips are flush down to the ground instead of being rolled just upon one. Use it also as an opportunity to help out your feet. For unattended feet, you might grab the toes and stretch them downward, although you'd be terribly uneven, so maybe we'll do that later. Let's move toward, those were half frogs. We're going to move toward a full frog pose of a different kind. So open your knees out, come onto your elbows. We're going to stretch the hips so the big toes touch. And this is that posture where our feet are further away than our knees. My knees actually go off my mat on this, but I have weird long legs. So yours might still be on. But your hips are further forward than your knees or further forward than your heels. Then you stay upon the elbows and you start to maybe play with it, keeping your toes down, rock the hips kind of forward. And it's a weird old kind of gyrating motion a bit, but it's trying to rock the hips into submission, into opening up the hip flexors. If you feel your toes come up, you've defeated, no pun intended, the purpose. You can, however, walk your elbows more forward. Find a spot to settle in, everybody's got one, and close the eyes and breathe. This is one of those postures that is a very good example of how stretching does happen. You will melt further into it. Your hips will come further down. At which point you walk the elbows forward, you adjust. Three more breaths here in this frog posture. Make sure toes are down and that they haven't crept up. Now, elbow walk. So your hips slowly go back to your heels into a wide knee child's pose. The back may protest, the hips may protest.
Take your time, modify. My arms are long just because that's where they landed. Maybe yours are tucked alongside.
Remembering that we use child's pose as a place to rest. Two more breaths here. Let's walk the hands in. Walk the knees in. Come into hero's posture. We'll do some seated twists. If you don't dig sitting on your feet, you can uncross your legs and untuck your legs in cross-legged pose or some alternate posture. So just press the palms upward. Shoulders are down. And then let's be tall. We're all not. So let's be intentional. Pull the shoulders down. Drop ear to shoulder and then let the head fall in the middle. And because we're tall now, we can pull a shoulder down as we go through the middle. And then the other. Next time we come to one side with the ear down, maybe you reach over with that same hand and pull your ear a little closer in. Now take the hand off the head and set it to the ground there to the outside of your hip. Other arm reaches up, and let's bend into that side elbow. Lean down. And over. You can put the hand behind the head here, push in, little rotation. Use your bottom hand to twist deeper. So we start this twisting. Lift upward to neutral. The hand that's next door, reach behind as far as it'll go. Maybe you find a foot back there. Other arm, grab the knee, look over the shoulder. And here's a twist. So we'll grow 3 times and continue our twist 3 times. First off, start slouchy so you see where you're coming from. So bend at the belly, be round. Inhale, grow as tall as you can. Exhale, pull the shoulder behind. Full exhale. Pause there. Here's your starting point. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist more. Maybe your hands walk a little round more to get leverage. One more time, tall. Exhale, reach as far behind as you can. Come deeply into the twist. Hold and breathe. Now keep the twist happening with the body. Just look slowly around. Over the front shoulder now. So just change which way the head is looking. And release to center. Hero's pose, rest. Maybe just nod the chin in. True humble hero's pose. Head hangs. Shoulders pulled down. Still upright, alert, aware. Breathing. To the other side, so sitting the hand in the spot next door, reach high with the other arm, and then bend that elbow, maybe hand behind the head, push with the bottom arm so that the top elbow pushes more to ceiling, bottom shoulder opens more to the front of the mat.
Come to center. We'll reach behind with that side hand. Other hand grabs the knee. Sit tall, and then sit untall. Go round into it. So we grow 3 times and twist 3 times. Get tall here, inhale. Exhale, look over the shoulder. Bring the shoulders with you, look. Pause there. There's your starting point. Inhale. Exhale, twist. One more time, tall. And twist deeply, hold, breathe. Any of these postures we settle into and you don't think you're going to fall, perhaps you don't here. Close the eyes so you can become a bit more aware of how things feel. Inhale here. Exhale, release to center. Sit tall for a moment. Let's do that neck stretch this side. So drop this ear to the shoulder. Hand reaches around. Pull the ear a little closer down. Keep that hand up there. Other hand reaches behind. Interlace the fingers. Lean into your hand basket. Lean into both hands. Pull the elbows back. Chest forward. Nice chest expansion. And one last bit of arm strengthening. Let's reach up overhead. Interlace everything but our first finger and our thumb. Squeeze everything together. Point high. Squeeze your inner elbows into your ears. Chin away from chest, please. Hold and breathe. Keep pointing as if you're trying to find that spot on the ceiling you're going to touch. Calm the face, the eyes, the feet. What's the belly doing? Give it something to do. Pull it in towards the spine. And keep reaching high. Lots of energy. Upward, blood flows back to fingers. Maybe roll the shoulders gently back. Intentionally. Now let's untuck our feet from behind us. Send the legs out into a straddle. Turn sideways on your mat. If you don't like heels on the ground, you can do that. Flex the feet, rotate toes so that they're upward, and reach high. So that same grip we were just in, that Charlie's Angels lock, let's hold that. Sit tall. Flex your thighs, push out through the heels, and we'll turn to face a leg. Pick a leg, any leg, and bow down to it. Reach way out and over. And your arms might not come all the way to that leg, that's all right. Hang on to whatever you can. Maybe it's a calf, maybe it's your thigh. If you've got a tool with you, you could hitch that underneath the foot. And then we try and flatten the chest out over the leg. You can hang on with one arm and the other hand reach underneath your hamstring, which is the flip side of your quad. It's on the bottom. And you can draw some circles with your hand, manually massage those muscles into loosening. What are your toes doing on the other side? Make sure they're rotated upward, please.
And use the hands to walk back gently to center. Both arms overhead. Turn to face the other leg and bow out and over. Rotate toes upward. Fold over the leg. Breathe. Again, your hanging on spot might be different here. And this hamstring might be all loosey-goosey.
But are your toes on the other foot still rotated upward?
Hamstring massage available if you would like to do it. And walk the hands back up. Let's go down the middle one time.
First, just sitting tall, let the arms hang. That's a nice sound. Let the head hang.
Both arms reach high. And out over the center. Keep the toes turned up, flex the feet, and we bow to this straddle. Gentle. If something gets tapped into that feels owie, then stop doing this. Owie, a very scientific and yoga word. Now walk the arms in, your knees in. Let's walk your butt to your heels and roll to the back.
And just relax the arms and heel toe your feet not quite so together so that they're straight down from the knees. So your feet have a couple of inches in between them. And get all the tidies into place that you have to do when you lay down. The hair, the shirt, the underwear. Let the shoulders relax. Now pigeon your toes in slightly. And that just keeps the knees from opening to the side. Now push in with the feet, let the hips lift. Roll weight to shoulders. Bridge posture. There's a nice straight line from our knees down through our hips, down through the throat. And the weight is in the shoulders, never in the neck. If you'd like more here, you could interlace the fingers underneath your bottom. Roll a shoulder, then the other, and walk your shoulders deeply underneath for a chest expansion. If you so choose to do that, you can dig in with the elbows and the outer pinky seams to lift the hips further. And hang here and breathe deeply. If you want to keep working the legs, stay there. If you want a bit more of a back stretch, you could rest your hip in one hand, elbow to the ground, and then the other, and we create a bit of a table with our hands, elbows being the feet of the table. Supported bridge. Feet stay flat wherever they are. If you've supported your bridge, push your weight in the feet and hold the hips that high as you come back into a chest expanded bridge pose. Now, undo any accessory you've added on. Relax the arms to the side and slowly peel the hips down to the ground. Just bring the arms out to the side, left to right, and rotate the palms downwards so the arms are like a T. Heel toe, the feet together, and let the knees open. Reclined butterfly posture. Let's keep the left knee where it is and bring the right knee in, grab it with both hands. So the left knee will kind of do its own thing now. Let's use the hands to draw some circles. So inhale, pull this right knee into the shoulder. Make a circle a bit as you send it away. Then pull it back in. And we're using the arms to make the circle, not the muscles of the leg. So as we exhale, we're stretching the hip muscles. Inhale, we're allowing those to rubber band a bit back into place. And if you can flow with the breathing, then we can call this stuff yoga. Let's go the other direction. Find the circle the other way. Next time the knee is inward, hold it there. And just unfold so that the sole of your foot is up and we're in a half happy baby pose. Everybody's baby is a little different, so you might have the hands under the thigh. The hands could grab the shin or the ankle, or perhaps the top of the foot's available. Inhale, release this foot back into place next to his friend down below. Reclined butterfly pose. And the right foot stays in place, left knee, let's grab it. Gently pull it inward and we find those circles and pair that with breathing. Inhaling at that squeeze and exhale, send it away. Or the opposite, truly any breathing you can do that reminds you to breathe and to keep doing so is good breathing. Go the other direction around, flowing with the breath. And don't bother worrying what the other leg is doing. It's just along for the ride, happy it's not involved now. Now we'll squeeze the knee in. Half happy baby here. Lift the sole of the foot. Reach upward, find your hanging on spot, which again might be different than the other side. Pull downward a lot. Breathe deeply a lot. Release both knees, draw into the chest this time. Maybe rotate the ankles. And here we'll invert, so send the legs upward. Feet above heart, inversion. You know your options, shoulder, stand. handstand, headstand, no stand, legs straight up. Towel or other tool, such as your two hands, are available. You can stack them underneath your bottom, allowing the hips to lift a bit, a little bit more restorative of a posture. Take the opportunity to use maybe one of the gentler options here if you too happen to booger up your neck, or if it's just that kind of a day, although inversion's a great place if you're feeling low to excel a bit, to maybe do that extra posture. Let the blood flow a little differently, and remember our heart has to work a bit more efficiently to get blood to the toes here. And make sure the spot under your head is flat. I've found mine at the seam of my mat to the ground, and I would have been in a bad spot heading to plow from there. And as rule of thumb, if you always keep chin away from chest and your weight in the shoulders, your neck will hopefully probably be safe. Settle into our inversion for just a few more breaths. Really trying for these last two postures to be still in those postures. It's our last opportunity to be real still and do something for ourselves, perhaps, for the rest of the day. Maybe even the rest of the week until you see me on Friday. So when you've had enough here, let's fill the lungs and we'll head for final resting. If you choose to do so in inversion, certainly stay there, otherwise using the breath to lower down. And lower the rest of your parts to the mat. Settling everything into place. And we'll be completely still here. Focus only on our breathing.